afternoon, everybody. Today I'm working on the demo of the project of the month that I did in January, and I was using several Distress Oxides to create the background and my blending brush. I'm still new to blending, so ink blending. So I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of grabbed some ink and stamped it off on my pad there, off of my mat, and then just grabbed some of that with my little ink blending brush, and then started blending up the background. This is on a Slimline size card. I can't remember I think it's 8.5 by 3.5 maybe. There's also like a mini Slimline that's like 6 by 3.5 or something like that. It's just not as tall, but it's interesting because I've never worked on that size before, but I really don't make cards that often, so I didn't really notice that there was that much difference, other than it just felt like there was a lot of blending I had to do for this background. But what I did was, originally I started off creating the artist trading cards using these colors and this products, and I really wanted to see if I could copy what I created with the artist trading card and make it happen on a similar background and foreground for the focal image for this in an actual card to send to somebody. So that's what I was doing here. So I'm just blending along, grabbing some more colors, trying to give it sort of a rustic, aged look with that wild honey in there that I used. Like I said, I'm kind of new to blending, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I just threw in some paint or ink, on the background there. Then I picked up one of my stencils. This is actually one of the little stencils from Tim Holtz layering stencils, and I think it comes in a set of 3. The little ones come in a set. And I took some rusty hinge and just put that over the top. And I like the effect that this gives, especially if you just do part of the stencil. It gives you kind of this idea that there's this background piece there, but it's not just a complete, this has been stenciled sort of idea. So I love doing that. It's a really cool effect. I think I tried doing another color after I did the rusty hinge, and that's just distressed ink. I didn't use oxide on that one. It just depends how you feel at the moment when you're blending. Then I grabbed my stencil from Crafter's Workshop, and I think this one might be called Buzz or something like that. I'll link it in the description, but and I decided to use some black soot distress ink to stencil on some flowers. I wasn't really sure exactly the look I was going for, but I just decided to see what I felt like doing. So I wanted to create kind of a little idea of a bunch of little flowers there, so that's what I did. They have a few different sizes in that stencil, which is nice. Then I decided I wanted to put a bug in the background. I don't know if this is a bee or a moth or a wasp or whatever it is, but it looks kind of cool, just in black, kind of like a silhouette there. Next, I decided I needed to add a little bit more texture, so I grabbed some old book pages and I tore them up. That's what I really like to do that. It creates a lot of fun texture in the background. And then I just think I used my glue stick to just stick that down in the back. I didn't go for the matte medium because I didn't need to worry about it being super sticky or anything. I knew I wasn't going to be manhandling this too much and just make it and then take a picture of it. So, and if you use the matte medium, it really makes it shiny even though it's matte, but if you use glue, you're only putting glue on the background. So that was what I did. I just used the glue and I put it in the background. And then I decided I needed to add a little bit more of the probably wild honey there over the top to help to kind of blend it in with the background. And next I wanted to create a little sentiment, so I took a piece of plain white cardstock and I blended in some ink on top. I think that's more wild honey on the top to make something that would pop out of the background before I stamped my sentiment, which I probably should have stamped the sentiment first, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you heat set your ink after you stamp it, you can blend before or after. It shouldn't really matter. And then I used the mixed media ink from Altenew to stamp my sentiment, and you can't really see it because I'm working off camera, but apparently I like to do that, and here it'll come back in here in a minute. And I stamped the phrase "Miss You." This is from the Altenew set. I think it's actually from the eucalyptus jar set. So I like that set because it has some really nice little phrases. I like all the Altenew stamps just because they tend to have some sort of focal images plus the sentiments that work really well in a card. And so I do like that. So there you see the sentiment on top of the card. And I'm pretty sure I used some foam tape, or maybe just fun foam with double-sided score palette tape on it, which I also like to do to make it pop off the background. And there you go. That's the end of my card. So I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends so that I can get to 1,000 subscribers.